Hi there. So I got you. We're gonna start in about a minute. I did get your text and I read it briefly. I know you go by Kat, but Shanti Kat is.
It's actually a Facebook kind of promo name.
Oh, how funny.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shanti is not part of a name.
No, it's
Okay.
I mean, my formal name's Kathy, and
Yeah,
I've been called Kat for many years.
Oh, I didn't. Oh gosh, I got you.
It's fine.
I got you. I'm like, okay, she turned Kat into her last name, and it's Shanti. All right, well, welcome to the Body Mind Index. I'm your host, Jerry Pujols, and today, by popular demand, we have Kat, who goes by Shanti Kat on Facebook.
And Shanti Kat Yoga on
Shanti
YouTube.
Kat Yoga on YouTube, which I'm glad that you shared that. That really clarified a lot.
Yeah.
So welcome today, and I'm really excited to have you back. After the last episode where we just talked about your journey and a lot of the things that you've done over the years and all the education that you've taken in the space of yoga and primarily breath work. Is it fair to say primarily, or because you really understand so much of it?
Yeah, it's, I'd say that I have a lot of experience in many modalities of yoga, but I'd say my biggest passion is breath work and Kundalini yoga. Yeah.
So then I've attended some of your classes, and now I wanted to share this with you. I've gotten, now I know that I'm kind of addicted to breath work.
Yeah.
And the reason I know is because anytime I do something physically taxing, I have gone to your class afterwards. So if I go on a longer run than usual, let's say I run 10 miles, which I can't believe.
Congratulations.
Yeah, coming from 280 pounds to losing about 80 pounds to not being able to walk around the block.
Wow.
Because my back and my joints and everything hurt so bad from inflammation, to running 10 miles. And then after the 10-mile run, not needing to, but wanting to go to your studio and do breath work and getting so much from that was fascinating. And then the reason I think I'm joking with the fact that I think I'm addicted is anytime I do anything that's like a long hike, or today I went on an 8-mile walk. I really was going to go for a 12-mile walk, but I didn't have time to go 12 miles, but I went 8. I was excited that we're meeting today because anytime I do anything that's more of an endurance type of activity, I love breath work afterwards.
Yeah.
Is that interesting to you?
Yeah. Well, there's so many similarities as well, because like with exercise and running, you release a lot of feel-good chemicals and endorphins, and breath work does that right away as well. And then also just the aspect of calming down the nervous system. The breath work can calm down the nervous system. So if you've been amped up with running, this balances you back out, depending upon which breath technique that you choose to do.
So I told you the other day that I went and got a massage, and it was such deep work that the only reason I did not tap out and run out of that room was because I connected with some of the breathing techniques that you have taught in your classes. And it allowed me to quiet the mind, relax the nervous system, and stay with that through the breath. And I was so excited. I'm just like, I wanted to call you the second I got out of there and say, I can't believe I just did this for 90 minutes. And now my body feels amazing because I was able to stand it and stay with that level of, frankly, pain.
Right. Yeah. That's beautiful. I mean, that's the other part of breath work is it's like this inner anchor that you can go to calm your inner world down, calm your mind down, and be less reactive. Like actually be able to endure uncomfortableness through breath, which is an amazing tool. Yeah.
Yeah. Now I have
a lot of things are uncomfortable.
I was going to say, now I have to apply that to my reactive ways, right? You know, because I'm reactive by nature. I think most humans are reactive by nature, but I think you've said a couple of things that have stayed with me, which is the nervous system.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I feel like our nervous systems are so taxed by outside interference, technology.
Yeah.
Everything is constantly keeping us on charge, and being able to tone that and subdue it.
Right.
It's very empowering.
Right. And how quickly you can get there. You know, you can actually have this complete different states of mind through breath work. So, yeah.
Well, before we get much further, I will say, for any of you who are watching, to keep us doing this, it happens with subscriptions and people who are interested in these topics. So please hit us with a like and a subscribe. That certainly helps us in the message, in passing this along to you. One of the things that I said to Kat, some of the reasons why I do this are somewhat selfish motives, because these are the people that I like to hang out with, and Kat is somebody who I really respect and love what she's about and what she's been able to transition to. She's been a successful businesswoman and now has sort of taken herself off of what I would consider to be a hamster wheel, and gets to live quite a balanced existence. And I think most of us, in some way, shape, or form, want that. And I'll just speak for myself. I certainly do. As I get older, I just keep getting just a tiny little bit better at it, and it feels really good. So I'm glad that you're here.
Thank you.
And that we get to share this. My pleasure. Feel free on the chat to put in questions. If you have any questions, we'll do our very best to get to them, because that's why we're making this live. So you can ask questions and you can get any of your thoughts addressed while we have Kat here with us. I know I already see somebody on the chat that has been exposed to Kat and has done breath work in her studio. So I'm glad that you're here, and I think that's all I got. I'm ready to go whenever you are. I'll just let you take over, and I'll be quiet now.
Okay. Well, what I'd like to do is to actually teach different techniques, and breath work is like a toolbox for your inner world and for clarity of mind, for so many benefits. So depending upon if you need something to calm your nervous system down, or you need something to improve your mood or wake you up, if you need something to help you get to sleep, if you're feeling a lot of stress, even anxiety, you can arrest that quickly through the breath work. So I thought it'd be just to take like one technique at a time and describe it, and then we'll practice it, so that way you can actually experience it, because the learning happens through experiencing. So what are you feeling like? Getting woke up or calmed down, or?
Wow. Yeah, I'm pretty chill right now.
Okay.
So I'm happy to go in either direction. I'm just happy.
And I'm glad that you've practiced a little bit already with me, so it won't be like
I'm all in.
Okay, so most of these are like traditional pranayama techniques that are ancient. They've been around for thousands of years, and this one in particular is called Kapalabhati. It's also called skull brightener, because you get a ton of oxygen up to your brain. And this breath is used to give you energy, to wake you up. It's a good way to get stress out of the body. It actually has the same effects as laughter. So it releases endorphins. And it also cleanses your lungs, purifies your lungs. It's good if you have asthma. If you're feeling stress, it can release the stress hormones and kind of flood in all these other hormones that are feel-good hormones. It's very good for your digestion. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. So it's a breath to use like first thing in the morning. You want to make sure that you haven't eaten in like a couple of hours. How you doing with that? Yeah. Like an hour.
Big bowl of oatmeal. So let's work through it.
And for women, if you're on your cycle, this is instead of doing this breath, I would do a different calming breath. So let's give this one a try. And how it works is with all breath work, you want to get your spine into a straight alignment and get real comfortable so that your belly is loose. If you're wearing tight clothes, it's hard to do this breath. So it's nice to have something that's loose. And how it works is that we're creating an exhale through the nose by pumping the belly back, and the inhale just happens automatically. So it's an exhale like this. You got it. And the inhale, keep going. You got it, Jerry. The inhale's very passive. In fact, it's a split second of this inhale that you're aware of, but you're not instigating it. It's good to close your eyes. So whoever's watching now, go ahead and try it. Exhaling through the nose by pumping the belly back. It's like a snap. If at any time you get dizzy, feel out of sorts, you're pushing breath, you want to take a break, something to build up slowly to. And then exhale the breath. And then follow it up with a strong inhale and then hold your breath. So inhale strong through the nose and hold your breath and stay relaxed in your body. This is kind of balancing out your nervous system, calming everything down. And then exhale, let it go. Keep your eyes closed. This is a quick way to drop into meditation, a quick way to get mental clarity. So if you're feeling foggy-brained, and this is Kapalabhati, also called skull brightener. And let's go again and try it again. This time, start it out with a little inhale first through the nose and then go into Kapalabhati. So it's and placing your hand and your diaphragm down underneath your rib cage, and use that muscle and your navel. There it is. And it's a tool to concentrate your mind. So really focus on the sensation in the belly. And you can also have a double focus of right in between the eyebrows and inward, kind of going inward. A quick way to still the mind. Concentrate. Don't worry about how quickly you go. It's more the vigor. Creating that exhale, exhale. Five, 4, 3, 2, and exhale. And bring in a strong inhale to a breath hold. So breath holds are called Kambaka. This is Antara Kambaka. It's at the end of the inhale. It's tapping into the parasympathetic nervous system, kind of slowing everything down. And you're letting carbon dioxide build back up in the body. And then let it go. Nice. Keep your eyes closed. Notice your energy. So this is called pranayama. Prana is your life force, your chi, your energy, and it rides with the breath. So controlling your prana is pranayama. It's one of the limbs of yoga. It's a concentration tool. It brings you into meditation. And let's go one more time, everyone. Taking a deep, just a little sip in. And focusing on the vigor and oxygen going up to the brain. Like this spark of energy going up your spine. Find your own pace. Feeling the sensation in the belly, the diaphragm. Also focusing between the eyebrows. Five, 4, 3, 2, and exhale. Strong inhale to a breath hold. And this is Kumbhaka. So you're just holding breath. Keep your body relaxed. And let it go. Notice how you feel. And slowly open your eyes. Whew.
Wow.
How was that?
Good. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Even when I'm in your studio. So sometimes when you say release the breath.
Yep.
Do you want us to hold on the release or not necessarily?
On that one.
Not on that one. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know you do have us hold.
Yeah, we have, there's breath holds at the end of exhale and breath holds at the end of inhale. But this particular breath, you want to follow it up with just exhale, you're done. And then that strong inhale hold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to hear from somebody if they did it, how they feel. I feel way calmer, like way calmer.
And you were already calm to begin with.
I was relatively calm, but I didn't know how many gears I had left in feeling calm. And this is just way better. And
also it's like you can feel maybe a calmness in your body because you just exercised. Right. But then the mind can still be active. Yeah. Even though there's a calmness, the mind's still firing. This brings the mind to more stillness quickly. In fact, when you're done, you actually feel like meditating. It's like, Yeah,
I like what Linda said. Linda said, nice, maybe a little lightheaded, sat out the last round, which I think is a great idea.
Yeah, very good. Yes.
I've heard you say that.
Yeah.
I've heard you say if it affects you in a certain way, you can.
Yeah. Pranayama is extremely powerful. It's actually something to slowly work up to. So it's really important to listen. If the dizziness is because you're getting this flood of oxygen, and sometimes that'll go away quickly. And other times it's like, whoa, I'm feeling too much. So that's the signal to stop and slowly build up. And eventually you can set a timer and go for a minute straight, sometimes working up to 2 minutes straight, even 3 minutes straight on that one. Yeah. And if you're pushing, because I noticed on one of your sets towards the end, it was like catching. Yeah. That's another signal. Just take a break. Yeah. Especially when you're in a group class, is like, listen to you and take your breaks.
Linda said, I'm familiar with this technique, but it's been a long time since I did it.
Oh,
that's really cool.
Good. Hope it's sparking the interest again.
Linda's been a musician. I know her. She's a musician. She's been around. She's seen some things. Good. She has seen some.
Is she a singer?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So that lung capacity.
And guitar. And all. She definitely.
Yeah. So this breath is excellent for the elasticity of the lungs and cleansing the lungs. All breath work, especially this breath work, can release toxins out of the body and bring you into more alkalinity, which is really important for health and autoimmune. And it greatly reduces inflammation in the body. So it's like a miracle that we have this tool. Yeah. So that was Kapalabhati breath. And I think what I'll do is we'll go into a calming breath and then we'll come back to one that's like a powerful one again, which is similar. So a calming breath, it's very, very easy, is just simply humming. And we have this vagus nerve in our body. It's this long, long nerve in our body. It's called the vagus nerve. And it has these parasympathetic fibers, which attach to all of our organs. And when we're stressed, those fibers get fired. And when we start to calm down through toning, those fibers start to relax. And it's kind of like this, the parasympathetic nervous system just comes into play versus sympathetic, which is that fight flight that we're in so often. So toning sounds stimulate that parasympathetic nervous system and the fibers. So there's a breath called Bra-Marie, and eventually on this breath, you do the humming on the inhale and exhale, which can be a little bit challenging to do the inhale. So I always teach it just more on the exhale. And it's very simple. You want to inhale through your nose and take your time on your inhale so that you have a lot of oxygen, so that when you exhale and hum, you could go a long, 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 long time. If you can kind of exhale twice as long as your inhale, that really calms your nervous system down. Twice as long. And always in the beginning, breath is shallow. We tend to have shallow breathing, but eventually the more you slowly inhale, it'll start to open up. So it sounds like this. And then you'll go back into an inhale through the nose. So everyone give it a try. Inhale slowly in the nose when you're ready. And just start to hum. Direct your mind to the sensation of the humming and feel it in your body. Keep going. You might even try to bring the back of your tongue towards the roof of your mouth a little bit, and it goes even deeper in the toning. Yeah, like the back of your tongue going towards the roof of your mouth. It goes even deeper. You can even try plugging your ears and see how that feels. You can go even deeper by covering your eyes and then plugging your ears with your thumb. Two more times. Well, they've done studies. This actually releases melatonin, so it's a great breath to get you to sleep.
All right, so you know that I've been exposed to yoga for a long time. That was amazing. That was amazing. That was so. Linda said it a second ago. She said it before we did the exercise. You were talking. She said, so it clears your mind of clutter.
Yeah.
It quiets the noise.
Yeah. It totally does.
Really quiets the noise. And
especially
I love when you cover
this. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was really a peaceful place. I've done transcendental meditation. I told you, and it for me, it got almost scary because I felt like it almost went too deep. But this was almost like going into the ocean, going deep into the ocean, and being with this vibration that takes the noise out. I loved it.
It does.
Loved it.
Yeah. You can even put earplugs in.
I love it.
So that you don't have, the less effort, the better. I mean, if you're lying down, then it's
But when I
easier.
was doing that, I wonder what it would be like if I'm in a place where there's even sound around. I think it would quiet that.
It does.
I could not hardly hear you. Yeah. When you were talking, I could hear that so far away, and yet you're right next to me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then when you get practiced at it, again, this is Bra-Marie, bumblebee pranayama. When you get practiced at it, you can bring it into your inhale, so then it's constant.
Yeah.
And for some people, it's difficult, but eventually you can get into it. It's more a higher pitch, so it sounds like this. So it's kind of like feminine, masculine. Feminine energy, masculine energy.
Man, I don't know how you did that on the way in.
Yeah, that's what I get most often.
Yeah, how did you do that?
You just stay with the exhale for now, and then when it gets so natural, and so many of these, all it takes is a minute sometimes just to clear, and just to calm it all down. So great one if you're feeling stressed. It's a great one if you're needing to get to sleep, if you're feeling anxiety, needing that mental clarity. Yeah, that's a beautiful one.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
So you can get sleepy with this one. So we'll go to another one that will wake you back up again. It's similar to the first one. The first one was Kapalabhati breath, where we're snapping the belly. It's similar. All the benefits are the same. And some people find one's easier than the other, eventually working on both of them. But it's called Bastrika, and in Kundalini Yoga, they call it breath of fire. And it's an inhale, exhale all through the nose, pumping your belly, but it's even. So because it's faster, it becomes even. The inhale is still passive, but because it's faster, it seems like you're inhaling and exhaling through the nose, but you're still just exhaling through the nose. Everything's through the nose, but the emphasis is on the exhale. I'll just demonstrate. It's a lot of words. Sometimes just demonstrating and practicing. So it sounds like this. So it's like that first one where you're exhaling, the inhale's passive. So let's give it a go. It's good to start with a little sip of breath in and then go into it. Go slower. And it's kind of softer. Yep, there it is. It's kind of like the bellows. There it is. Don't worry about the inhale. Just focus more on that exhale. And exhale.
That was harder.
Yeah, it's a little trickier.
Harder,
yeah. That's why we stopped, because when you start to struggle, that's the clue. Just take a break. Because when you stop and just feel that prana and energy, that's just magic. And it's that balance again of the effort and the being.
Yeah.
It's part of it all. So let's try it again. A little sip in. Engaging your diaphragm. And exhale. Strong inhale to a breath hold. So real strong. And hold your breath, top of inhale. This slows everything down. Slows the heart rate down. And let it go. Yes, just meditate. Some other benefits of this breath is strengthening the abdominals. And also all of your organs in your abdominal cavity are getting massaged and compressed. And they say in Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, that compression and movement of your organs for health of the organs is important. This certainly does it. So your kidneys, your gallbladder, your liver, intestines. Yeah. That second round seemed a little bit. Once you practice, you get more familiar. How'd that one feel?
Yeah.
The second round.
Felt better. Yeah, it felt way better.
Yeah. So I would say if you're starting out with this, you find which one feels more comfortable and stick with that one for a while. And then later on, bring in the one that's more challenging. They both have the same benefit. Yeah. So any questions out there? Let's see. Yeah. What's great about mindful breathing is it requires focus. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Concentrating your mind, pranayama, come before meditation. And then it changes your brain waves. Yeah.
What is a reasonable practice for somebody that is starting out? And what's the reasonable practice, and how long before somebody feels some traction as far as the nervous system and relief? I think I know the answer to the second one, but the first one is, how many times should somebody consider doing something like this per week?
Practice, like a dedication to a practice. One of the ways to make that be successful is that you make a commitment that you do it every day. And it's a commitment of time that's doable. So like 5 minutes, like that's my commitment. Every morning, especially in the morning, is a great time to do it. Sometimes I'll do breath work before I get out of bed, especially if I'm not feeling like getting out of bed, because it just wakes me up. But I'd say start with something that's easy, 5 minutes, but a daily practice, because then it becomes like natural. And something that if you don't do, something's missing, like brushing your teeth, like it's uncomfortable eventually.
So you find making it part of a routine is probably,
And then what happens too, the more that it becomes more natural, you start to use it throughout the day. There's times where it just becomes part of what you do, where let's say you're feeling stressed, you stop and you do 1 minute of breath of fire and you're off again. So it's really about living yoga versus just practicing on a mat, like actually living your yoga. Yeah. And I like using timers. And what you find is like, okay, I'm just going to do 5 minutes. You do a timer. Well, 5 minutes goes by so fast. And once you've done your first breath, you're like, oh, I want more. I want more. And suddenly you found more time to do more.
A good question just caught my eye, but before I dive into it, I'm going to try. I find that I have this battle getting out of bed in the morning to do the right routine, the right practice that I've built for myself to honor that practice. There's an internal battle with that in the morning. There's a little bit of the bed feels really too good to get up.
Yeah. So do your practice there. That's actually what I did this morning. Yeah. I stayed in bed and I did another breathing technique, but a good one to do is the breath of fire or the Kapalabhati. Just do your.
I'm also thinking about the one where you quiet the mind, just because there's so much going on in there. Yeah. Just taking that process of breathing that out with some hum.
Yeah.
I'm curious.
You'll know what you're going to need when you practice. Then you realize all the benefits and like, oh, I'm really needing to calm my mind. I'm going to use this breath. Your body starts to, in the connection between your mind body, starts to just tell you which one to do. So
we have Normatic. He says, I do breath work all the time. But he says, the first thing that he says is this breathwork stuff brings up lots of emotions for me. Why does that happen?
Yeah. Well, we tend to store emotions in the body. Emotions are energy. And if we aren't processing emotions, they can get stuck in the body as like a stuck energy. And prana actually bursts through blockages in the body, which can be emotional, can be physical. And that's like the biggest purpose of pranayama is to open up so that you're a vessel that's flowing, like your chi is flowing. So it happens very, very often that emotions will start to come up. And sometimes you don't even know what you're feeling, but you feel like crying or you just, it's energy. So it's a great tool. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I encourage it and, it's good to be prepared for that as well. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really appreciate that,
Yeah.
because and a lot of times for guys, it's really hard to express that whole crying and letting go thing, and release.
Yeah.
And a lot of us go for years and years. I'm speaking for myself, but years and years without crying. And I look back at that now and I think, man, you talk about being bound with just
the programming. Instead of just treating it as energy and it's natural, it's normal. Just the programming. So it's a good way to access. So sometimes if you're feeling numbed out or you just can't, like, I don't feel, breath work can help you start feeling.
For people that are dealing with, well, I was just going to say something really intelligent. For people that are dealing with people, for everybody, I think I think breath work is just an amazing resource for being able to better deal with people.
Absolutely.
Just not being as reactive, to being reflective, to not being the nerves being so raw that you're just constantly. I'm finding that to be such a tool. And what I also find, I was thinking about this the other day, the core group that goes to your classes, it's the core group. I mean, some of them don't even miss. It doesn't seem, they're just there
for years and years
and
years.
It's I mean, because clearly they're getting something, and they recognize it. I think for some of us is that we just don't give things the time that they require.
I love teaching breathwork so much, and the responses I get from somebody new. I teach a lot of group classes, and the comments afterwards, I love it because it so quickly brings you into a state of mind. And so often people are like, what did I just do? Or, wow, I feel so calm. What was that? And I even had a student recently said, I feel like I'm drunk. And, it provides this energy, a calmness inside, a comfort inside. Often we're going outside of ourselves for comfort and distraction, and because we're not comfortable with going inward. And this is a way to go inward to where you feel like you can bring some relief and calm. And it's often what we're just needing. Sometimes we're just exhausted and we just need to clear some of that energy, the fatigue.
My cousin's wife came to your class, and it was adorable because she said in your class, "Oh, this kind of yoga I can do." And I thought that was, and I could, because I've done different types of yoga, many different types of yoga, and I felt the same way. I did feel the same way. I felt like this kind of yoga is strictly for my well-being, for me, for my insight. It's for my mind. It's really, I mean, it's fascinating what the breath will give you when you're being intentional with the breath.
Exactly.
And what it can do for your body. It's a medicine unlike any other. I really do believe food is medicine. I
absolutely
totally believe that.
Yeah.
But I also believe breath is medicine. It's medicine. Prana. It's medicine.
Yeah, it's in everything.
Yeah.
I'd love to teach you one more. I'm not sure how much time we have, but this is a breath that you can do all day long. And you can even do it when you're standing in the grocery line, or do it when you're driving.
That's when I need it most, by the way, when I'm in the grocery line. So I'm ready.
Even, working on your computer, you can just tap into this breath. It's called Ujjayi breath. It sounds like the ocean in the back of your throat. Again, the inhale can be a little bit hard to get. So you can start with the exhale. But how you get into the breath is starting with an exhale and making a ha sound like you're fogging a mirror. So pretend like you have a mirror and just fog it with a ha sound. And do it a few times and notice how you're making that sound, where it's happening in the back of your throat. It's constricting a little. So go ahead and try that a few more times, everyone. Just fog a mirror, make a ha sound. That's that toning again, calms the nervous system. 2 more times, make that ha. One more with an open mouth on the exhale. And now try it, closing the mouth and create that same sound. And then inhale again. Don't worry about the sound. Yep, I hear it. Sound of the ocean. Mm-hmm. Eventually, you don't constrict so tightly in the back of your throat. It can be even calmer, and it still creates that sound. And really equate this to a vibration. You're creating a vibration inside. So the tricky part is going into the inhale. There's a tendency to sniff in the nose. So try to inhale back here. And inhale back the throat. Yeah, you have it. That can be tricky. You have it. Yep. Sometimes if you can't get it on the inhale, you can just open the mouth a tiny, tiny bit, like a tunnel, until you can really feel it in your throat. But you have it, Jerry. You've done this before. And then relax. So right now there's a lot of effort, but eventually it becomes real natural and it sounds like this. So eventually the inhale and exhale so even in tone and length, you couldn't tell if somebody was inhaling or exhaling.
Man, I can meditate just on hearing you. It was so like I'm listening to the inside of a shell. It sounded so cool.
Yeah, that's another good.
It sounded so cool.
Yeah.
It was really, I think.
Darth Vader.
No, it was even better. It was amazing. So
sound of the inside of a shell. That's a good one.
Sounded so good. Yeah, that's something to strive for. I loved it.
So that's a beautiful one for helping you get to sleep, for stress release.
Yeah, I felt an immediate calm, a super calm.
Super. And again, calm. Clarity of mind. All of these bring clarity to the mind. So that's Ujjayi breath. Yeah, Ujjayi breath helps me to sleep. Yeah. Yeah. And so with that, with time, it gets more and more easy and comfortable. So you don't feel like if you wake up in the middle of the night and you can't sleep, you can go into that breath. And it won't be so much effort if you keep practicing during the day. Then you have it as a tool where you just drop in. It's amazing. Sometimes, you'll be like, oh, this isn't going to work. And you do like the second round and you're out. Yeah. Wow. So good. Yeah. Ujjayi helps me sleep, especially when I can't. I use it. That's great.
It's nice that people are out there and aware of things that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And the breath work is something that I've always, again, I say that I take it for granted. I mean, I just have always taken, my mother suffers from asthma.
Oh.
And I saw her from the time I was a little kid, constantly running to the hospital for steroids and things like that to just help her survive. These attacks were intense.
Oh. Scary to see.
And when one doesn't have that, the breath is something we all, I think most of us take that for granted. The act of breathing, we take it for granted. But I think there's so much more that we can do with the breath to help ourselves.
Yeah, like allergies.
That
Kapalabhati breath of fire.
Yeah. So I love the idea of maybe you telling people a little bit where they can find you or something like that.
Yeah. Well, I'm here in Napa. I'm yogainNapa.com. Well, that's my website. You can get me anywhere on that. I'm on YouTube and Instagram under Shanti Kat Yoga. And so I have a lot of videos on YouTube that you can watch. And if you send me an email to Kat, Kat, at yogainNapa, I can put you on my newsletter, and the newsletter gives you all of the classes. Also on yoga and Napa, you can click on the calendar and it has my classes.
And you do some Zoom classes too.
Yeah. So I teach when I'm in town. I teach live at my studio on Wednesday nights. It's gentle yoga or restorative yoga with lots of breath work, calming breath work. It's a beautiful class. It's 6 to 7. And then Saturday mornings, I do breath classes, more powerful, like Kundalini yoga, some of these breathing techniques that are powerful. And some calming ones as well. That's Saturday morning, 9 to 10. I teach over at Health Quest a lot. I teach privately. So I have students come to my studio. Some students kind of combine together. Others form their own groups. I teach tourist groups and kids.
The classes over, groups. I know Saturdays you do over Zoom. Do you do tonight's over Zoom as well?
I do Wednesday night and Saturday on Zoom.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so you can just shoot me an email, Kat, K-A-T, at yogainnapa.com. That's probably one of the easiest ways. Yeah.
I like the idea of maybe, breath work once a month with you or something like that.
With a group, you mean? Or
well, even here on our little thing.
Sure.
When you're in town, we can always miss a month because you travel the world and you.
Yeah, like actually come in and do a half-hour class live.
And if you're traveling the world, we can do one over Zoom.
Absolutely.
That would be amazing too.
Yeah.
I can live vicariously through your travels. Susan and I will connect with you somewhere cool in the world.
Yeah.
You have anything planned for the near future?
I'm feeling like I'm wanting to root down a little bit here.
And
just I've been traveling for, living other places for a while. And so smaller trips.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's fascinating. Yeah. I find myself kind of the opposite. Like I want to go explore more.
Yeah, but it probably will only last a few months and then I'll be back.
Something will come up. Yeah. I think that's...
Yeah, no, I'd love to get down to Mexico again, the beach in January for a month or two.
Nomadic said, I live in Italy. Can I still get on your Zoom classes?
Absolutely.
It'd be awesome to see you.
You'll just have to wake up at, 2 in the morning or something.
Were you just there? Weren't you just
I was, yeah. I was in
Italy.
Sicily. Yeah. Sicily and Tuscany. It was amazing.
You can come. You can come to Napa, Nomadic.
Yeah.
I definitely have to get to Italy. I have to do that. My brother went to Italy and Spain in one trip, and our culture, from what we've heard, we thought we were from Spain, but then the DNA proves that we're more Italian than anything.
Oh, okay.
So little did we know. But my brother liked Italy a lot more than Spain, which surprised me.
I haven't been to Spain yet.
Yeah.
It's on the bucket list for sure. Yeah, Sicily was wonderful. Like saw almost the whole island. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, so I think on that note, I think this has been an amazing time that we get to spend today.
Love it. I love it. So
thank
much.
you. I thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Peace. Bye, Linda. Bye, guys. See you,
Bye,
Carlos.
Nomadic. Bye, Mark.
Bye.